I remember what it is, I just don't know where it is. Where is my first vinyl? I found it. Here it is. No, I got it. Okay. Oh, next thing is, can I get it out? I can't, apparently. Oh, that's so sad. This is blocking me. Heidi ho, welcome back to another I Spy in July video. Today I'm in a little bit of a different place and I'm actually quite low on the ground. I'm sitting on the ground right now because that is where something very special to me is currently located. It's not always on the ground. It hasn't been in the past, but at the moment in this space it is, and that is my vinyl collection. Yay! I actually started collecting vinyls several years ago now. I genuinely love listening to vinyl records. I find that I don't even care about glitchy noises or anything like that. There's something about listening to a good vinyl which is just totally different to playing an iPod. It's a really different experience. It's an experience. It is an experience. So I love the old school music and remembering back in times when things were totally different or when music was totally different and what we were releasing was so insane compared to what it is now. I love old music. I actually prefer listening to someone like Nat King Cole or Frank Sinatra or Shirley Bassey to someone who maybe releases more currently. Sometimes I find that their music is just it's so beautiful. I mean, people who come out with music now are great too. Like, there are great people out there who are releasing current music, but there's just something about older music from different times that came out on vinyl, and it's just, love songs were romantic. But I love being able to listen to a vinyl record that was actually released at the time. A lot of my records that I've got are really old and really not well looked after, but that means that they really were released at the time they were supposed to be. So I wanted to show you my vinyl record. Last count that I did was about 200. I think that I ended up donating a few. I had some double ups and I had some that I knew I would just never listen to, and there's no point having it if I couldn't pick it out one day and just go, yes, I'm going to totally amazingly listen. Or I would potentially listen on another day depending on how I feel. But I also have my record player up the top here, and now I have this dedicated music room. I've been able to set it out and have my record player and my records all in the same place all at once. I was gonna trying to find my first ever vinyl that I ever bought. It's actually in here. It's in here, and I can't get it out without pulling everything out because these are crooked, so that's actually in the way. But the first vinyl I ever bought, which started my fascination and my collection, was actually Kiss Me Kate from the motion picture. Kiss Me Kate was actually a musical play, I think, that they did in real life, and then they made it into a movie. It uses a lot of Cole Porter songs. Love Cole Porter, he was great. And it was a really fun take on The Taming of the Shrew by William Shakespeare, of course. And it was essentially followed the actors who were acting The Taming of the Shrew out, but you got to see all of their background stuff that was going on. So, for example, in between scenes or in between acts, there were, people who were people after money that they owed and coming after to collect that were gangsters, and there was animosity between the two lead characters. They used to be married and now they hated each other, but secretly they love each other, and how are they supposed to deal with that? And so that was really fun to see that background stuff happening. And there was some amazing cast in that movie as well. So it was a really fun movie, and I knew the movie, and I really liked it. And so when I saw the vinyl of the soundtrack, I thought this would be fun to listen to. And I think that the place I bought it is no longer around. It doesn't do vinyls anymore. But when I bought it, it was in some place in the middle of nowhere, up in the hills of goodness knows where. And we had a friend and I had stumbled upon it just by chance. We were out exploring and going on an adventure or something. And yeah, when we saw it, I looked through all the vinyls, and this one, I think one more as well, caught my attention, and I bought it. And usually these only cost a few dollars. An Elvis record goes for more because everyone knows who Elvis is. But I found that a lot of my favorite artists I hadn't really heard much about before. I knew Frank Sinatra, so every time I saw a Frank Sinatra record, I would buy it. Or I knew some of these other people, so I bought those ones without thinking twice. But a lot of my collection actually ended up being people I hadn't really heard of before, but I was literally judging a book by its cover, and I would see the cover and I would see what kind of music they got going on, and I would buy it hoping that I was right and that I would love it. And a lot of the times I was right and I did love it. And I eventually found people like Nat King Cole and Shirley Bassey, and I just bought all of their vinyls, and there were so many. I literally have so many Shirley and Nat vinyls because I just bought any and every of them that I could. I bought all of the Bing Crosby, and I bought all of the Frank Sinatra and all of those really fun vinyls. But then there was also the soundtracks that I got to have. Anytime I knew a soundtrack, I would buy it. So I had bought Mary Poppins. The Sound of Music is on there. The Sting was fun to find, like the old The Sting movie. I had seen that just a little bit before I found that record, and it was really fun. The Karate Kid is in here, the Karate Kid soundtrack. Pretty Woman is in here. I have the Grease soundtrack as well. Grease soundtrack is in there. There's also, you know, classic ones like Fiddler on the Roof. And then I also ended up with some of the more classical type stuff. There was also random, there's really random stuff in here. Honestly, some of these they're just weird or like insane, but I do like getting a lot of compilation where it's songs for the 50s or, you know, rock and roll songs and some really cool things like that. I loved finding those because then I got a really broad sort of idea of what kind of music was popular and what was around, and they were fun to get. And then also there was the people who I discovered as I randomly bought their vinyl records and discovered these people are great, or these never heard of before in my life people are amazing. And so that was really fun as well, and I got to sort of discover an entirely new aspect of music that I hadn't before. And even though I still enjoy listening to music that's current sometimes, depending on who it is, I got an entirely different view on music and on creativity, on art, on all of the stuff that came before what we have now in music, and it was really fun to listen to all that stuff. I found some really great gems over the years. It's not all just old people you've never heard of before in your life. I got some of these I'm going to gush over a little bit more than maybe you will, but I got some really cool people in here. I found Julie Andrews. One of my favorite ones is the Jerry Lewis. Not many people knew that he could sing, and his album is great. And then Doris Day I think I only found one Doris Day, and there's a Doris Day one in here. I love her, she's great. There are so many good ones in here, oh my gosh. I have a Beatles one. Oh, Barbra Streisand is in here as well. Oh, I got a whole bunch of people like Cole Porter and Glenn Miller. Guys who just wrote amazing songs, and they've all compiled them into like Gershwin, into these albums. I found some of the the really good, the really interesting ones. I don't know if anyone is going to recognize some of these, but I have the Andrews Sisters. That was one where my parents knew who they were and told me about them. I actually have a few. I had a few Liza with a Z. Liza Minnelli. I think there's a Liberace one in there as well. Oh yes, here we are. Doris Day. I love Doris Day. I love Doris Day movies and Jerry Lewis movies and all of the movies. I have some really great, this I found, I think, at a garage sale. I have Michael Jackson, Thriller. That was a really interesting find. I'm pretty sure that was definitely at a garage sale. A lot of the really well-known popular people that you would think of, you don't find them so much at a secondhand store. It's mostly because if you have like a Michael Jackson record, you can get money. Why would you just give it away to a secondhand store if you can get money for it? So yeah. Whitney Houston, this is one of my favorite finds. I love Whitney Houston, so I'm really glad that I found her. Oh, this makes me happy. When I found this, I was dying. Probably hardly anybody will have heard of this one except for my immediate family. Or it might be a few people out there who know what this is, but I actually grew up with this on cassette tape. And it was the Music Machine. Music machine, music machine, like no other gadget that you've ever seen. The Music Machine was a cute little musical story, and it was essentially just teaching kids, you know, good values, and it was the fruits of the spirit: patience, joy, love, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control. I wonder if that's them all. I don't know. But it was so beautiful because it's like these two kids who found this music machine, and the music that it spits out is always like a good virtue. And this particular one came with all these, like, you know, it was the pictures and, oh, it's like all the words, and it's so cute. It makes me so happy to see this again. This is so much fun. Finding that was the highlight of my life. Maybe not my life, but my collection life. I don't know where I got it, and I don't exactly remember when, but this is probably one of my most favorite records. But I always forget that I own it, so it's always fun to see it again. I am a collector. I am not just all about the vinyls. I also collect mugs, fun, quirky, cool, interesting Disney, Marvel related superhero mugs. But I do. I love a vinyl record, and I'm really happy whenever I get to listen to some or have some time to myself to be able to and going through them and remembering all of the really fun vinyls that I own is so much fun. If you love vinyls just as much as I do, let me know in the comments below, and who your favorite artists are on vinyl to listen to. Some of the cool, like, 20s music is so much fun, like your honky tonk music. There's just so much fun stuff that you can get. And I think I have a Maurice Chevalier, that's like French music. It's just all the cool stuff that's going on in vinyls. And if you don't listen to vinyls, but you do still like some of the people I mentioned, let me know in the comments below. And if you think that I have too much or not enough, let me know what you think in the comments below. I can get some more, it's not hard, but let me know if you think I have too many or too little. I would love to hear what you think. If you want to check out another I Spy in July video, you can absolutely head to the playlist and see any of the ones that have been released so far. I am hoping to still do a video every day in the month of July, and I also have my birthday vlog, which is the second vlog I've ever done, and the last one was on my birthday last year. So apparently I only do a vlog once a year. It's a lot of work. But right now I'm gonna go listen to a vinyl record. I'll see you guys in the adventures.